Our second female fight of the evening. We have lots of female fights here on Battle Arena, which is really good. The UK female MMA scene is growing. A lot of strong fighters coming through.
Yeah, in the same vein as Rosie Sexton. Of course, we had Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Cage Warriors champion, now UFC champion. And this fight is going to be held at the new featherweight division at 145 pounds. Later on, we have a title fight, a European title fight, with another 5 elements fighter. But Hannah Ingram has obviously been the sparring partner of that person and will be coming in absolutely incredible shape. And I know you love the cornrows, Chris.
I do love cornrows, especially on a woman.
Or a rapper, like Nelly.
Anyone. Yeah. Better on a woman. I do think you should get cornrows, though, Steve. Right, I owe you your burger in the break, don't forget.
I won't forget about that. But we could definitely do a Twitter poll when I need what show I should do cornrows for. I hear they hurt a lot.
So this is Battle Arena in Dunstable. Battle Arena has now established itself as Europe's #1 amateur MMA promotion, which means we are the feeder league for Cage Warriors, BAMMA, and ultimately Bellator, which we've got some fighters on now, and the UFC. Paul Craig, I think he had a fight in the Bellator Battle Arena cage. We have Fabian Edwards, who's now knocking out everyone in Bellator, who came through Battle Arena. This is the launching platform for fame.
Danielle Hutton from Team Wallhead, another person that's looking to make Battle Arena their stepping off point for those professional ranks. But first you got to get in here and you've got to tangle with some of the best competition. So we were remarking off mic a little earlier, Chris, that some of these Battle Arena fights that we see are more competitive, more composed, and really more skillful than what you see at the very bottom level of, say, even BAMMA, Cage Warriors, even Bellator at times.
Yeah, because the guys, the title holders on this show, they're not rushing to the pro ranks. A lot of these guys will rush to the pro ranks just to have a couple of fights on the undercard of BAMMA or something, and then disappear into obscurity. A lot of the fighters that come in through Battle Arena, they are building up their skill set here until they become 2-3-time Battle Arena champion, and then moving up straight into the big leagues of the pro ranks where they can hang with these pros straight away.
Danielle Hutton here sporting Jimmy's judo, or judo Jimmy, pardon me, judo Jimmy on her spats.
Yep.
Or her
Jimmy
shorts.
Wallhead in her corner, UFC veteran, well, a veteran of every MMA show you could probably mention, an absolute legend of the UK MMA scene.
Yeah, incredible fighter he was.
I did train with him once as well, and he threw me on my head.
Judo is incredibly underrated still in MMA, so it'll be very interesting to see how this continues on. How maybe Danielle Hutton can make an argument for judo and MMA. She obviously has brought a lot of fans with her.
A lot of people were talking about this fight in the build-up to this show, saying it could be an absolute barn burner. Hannah in the black and Danielle in the orange and blue.
Both ladies looking very composed here. It's going to be very telling to see how these first 30 seconds of this fight go.
Double cornrows.
Who wore it better?
Coming out heavy straight away.
Flash of kicks there. Big kicks. Wading in with punches is Danielle Hutton.
Now, will she look for a takedown straight away, or will she use this clinch position to land some damage?
Got that inside leg trip position. Good Danielle Hutton. But Hannah, sitting her hips back, makes it very hard for you to throw her off.
I always feel like any judo Jimmy Wallhead fighter is just going to come out and do judo throws. It's probably assuming they're all the same, but yeah. It definitely looks like a judo Jimmy fighter, just pressuring, but Hannah's turned in and got control of her own.
Danielle lands a knee up the middle, another knee up the middle. Those knees are different. Oh, that clinch position is really favoring the Wallhead fighter. Another knee comes up the middle. Really, judo is just the art of hitting people with the world, which I love.
Hannah with the pressure. Really, really good pressure from Hannah.
Absolutely
Danielle's
exhausting position. Danielle,
got like a head control position, maybe like almost a guillotine position.
she's out of position right now in that clinch. I think she was maybe trying to step her hips in, but Hannah could easily step her hips in front and possibly even get a trip or a throw of her own.
A lot of judo type fighters do like this position though, that kind of over-under position. It's kind of similar to the grips you'd get on a judo gi of the lapel on the arm. Having like one whizzer. Hannah's kind of controlling the position a little bit more than Danielle, and at the moment
just didn't quite have the finesse to finish that.
Danielle came out so strong, but Hannah seems to just be controlling the second half of this round. A little bit more pressure, just working her into the cage, but not doing a great deal at the moment. She could be trying to set up a takedown on some strikes.
Yeah, notice the head position there of Danielle Hutton. Looks up at the... Hannah's really using that overhook to good effect. Just keeping herself out of danger. Yes, and there you go. I've been calling that all day for that wizard position. Really excellent.
Oh,
but she's given up the underhook on that right side. Well, her own left side, but Danielle Hutton's left side.
Good job by Danielle Hutton to recover that guard. That's not easy. Hannah did a really good job dragging her to the floor, but Danielle straight away just slid her knee in, using that closed guard. We know that she comes from a really accomplished camp, and she will have some good submissions from the bottom.
Hannah's high guard.
Yeah, Hannah's done a good job of keeping her weight forward. Like driving in, pressuring in can really nullify any submissions from the bottom. So many people get used to these kind of jiu-jitsu matches. Oh, she went for an armbar, just missed it. Lightning fast armbar attempt. I'm very impressed. Reverse mount. It's an awkward position unless you've got some killer leg attacks.
Wow. Hannah Ingram coming out on top in the grappling exchanges here at the end of the first round and is looking to end on top in side control.
Excellent control by Hannah.
A really good showcase of grappling prowess there. Somebody, we had Hannah Ingram nullifying the judo of Danielle Hutton by just using a different type of look, dropping her level a bit better, getting around the hips. But in the end, ends up getting the takedown with a wizard position, that overhook position I was calling for earlier in the night.
That was the tale of two halves that round. I really felt like Hannah came out, but she was being pushed around a little bit by Danielle just for the first half of that round. In the second half, she came back strong, took her down, controlled the position. But Danielle had that little cheeky armbar attempt from the bottom, and the judges do score that.
It was who could capitalize against the fence there, which is what we're seeing a lot of our fighters struggle with here. And that's just part of your fight IQ. Knowing that up against the cage you have a handful of maneuvers with your back against the cage and a handful of maneuvers when you're pushing someone into the cage that will either lead to the takedown or to opening up strikes, whether they're to the body or to the legs. Knees, 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 as we call for in the Elite TC corner.
Who will be first in round two, Hannah or Danielle? Ooh, narrowly missed with that head kick.
Showing a different look right now is Danielle Hutton.
Yeah, very different.
Coming
Look at some striking now.
Single collar tie there for both fighters momentarily.
Hannah knew she had success in the first round with these grinding grappling exchanges, so she got straight back to it. Whereas, like you said, Steve, Danielle had a little bit of a different look. Looked like she was going to try her striking because the grappling didn't work for her in round one.
She's using an underhook to good effect.
Oh,
again, pressure.
Oh, but reversed it.
Live by the sword and die by the sword, Chris. With that overhook, you're giving up the underhook, so they have a direct access to your back, and Danielle had no other choice but to get on top there. Hannah Ingram gave up the bottom position.
The irony that Danielle went for a judo throw and it didn't work against the wall head fighter.
We're seeing some very good submission work on the ground from both of these girls.
Yeah, Hannah's done a really good job of, even though the cage is making it really hard for her to move, of recovering to this position.
She's got one butterfly hook.
Yeah, single butterfly hook. Gone back to half guard.
Those heavy hands right there of Danielle Hutton.
Danielle does hit very, very hard.
Nice, very good back control. They break away. It's a little bit of swelling there on the right eye of Hannah Ingram.
Oh, Hannah doesn't want to strike. She just wants to close the distance every time.
She's tasted it now. She doesn't like how bitter it is. pushing into position. Danielle Hutton looking to hike her back up and keep her off the legs. Danielle lands a left hand. Hannah Ingram looking to roll out there. Throws a high kick of her own. It just misses.
Every time they strike, Danielle lands big. She needs to just try and keep separated.
She's like a meat grinder, isn't she? Just, oh, good head position. That's excellent head position there. Great example of it from Danielle Hutton.
Oh, landing big shots on Hannah. She landed 3 or 4 in a row unanswered.
Wow. Good, really good work. Now here's where the judo comes into play.
Yes.
Lovely.
It's like you predicted the future there, Steve.
You see it, you do it, just like these fighters do. She can push that foot off and possibly go in for a little bit more of that bully position she's got with the right underhook, land left hands to the head of Hannah Ingram. Danielle Hutton making the second round all her in that half guard momentarily.
Very, very good. What a comeback from Danielle. She was on the bottom at the start of this round briefly, and now she's coming back strong.
I'm really impressed with the fight IQ here of Danielle Hutton. She's doing a lot of the right things in difficult positions to get this fight back on track as she passes into side control here at the very end of the second round.
Having such an experienced corner man, it's got to make such a difference to you. Got judo Jimmy Wallhead giving her advice, veteran of all the biggest MMA promotions in the world.
This is one of those things, right? First round, arguably to Hannah Ingram, whereas Danielle Hutton has come out really, like you said, like an absolute beast in that second round and has tipped that momentum. So who has the momentum coming into third might be the telling factor here in the third round. I'm really liking the instructions that Jimmy Wallhead's giving. You know, he's talking about going to that body, really beating her up, eating her up on the inside there if she tries to clinch high. And that is exactly what Hannah Ingram was doing. Sorry, Danielle Hutton was doing. And it's really showing the difference. You see a lot of swelling over the eyes of Hannah Ingram. She's definitely been in a fight and she knows it, Chris. What do you think is going to happen in this third round?
I think this is anyone's fight right now. It seems to be we're just kind of, there is these little striking exchanges straight back to grappling. I think it could be, they're very equally matched wrestling-wise. Maybe Hannah seems a little bit more tired of the two fighters. It's kind of whoever lands on top.
Not to say anything against judo, because I think it's a great sport, especially in the gi. But when it comes to fighting wrestlers, judo guys are just a step behind because we mixed it up. And there's that right hand from Hannah Ingram. Wow, and she's whipping her around now.
Danielle just
like a rag doll,
throwing Hannah against the cage.
Referee Alan Jackson having to control Jimmy Wallhead there. There's a lot of excitement there in that Wallhead corner, as they know this is the deciding round.
I wouldn't want to tell Jimmy Wallhead off.
You just ask him politely. That's what you do.
Would you mind shouting less? Oh, dragged her down to the mat. Brilliant job by Danielle.
And a really good position against the cage there.
Hannah
Ingram.
I feel like Danielle's just that little bit more technical and that little bit more composed. She's just slightly more professional.
I'm gonna get it wrong all the time. Sorry, Danielle Hutton, still on top.
We know what you meant, Steve. It's all good.
Sorry, that's what I meant. And now Danielle Hutton on top, landing those left hands.
Huge shots. They could be over. Alan Jackson's taking a very close look at it. Oh, but Hannah's turned in. She's got back on top. Excellent work by Hannah.
Such composure there from Hannah Ingram. She could be giving up the armbar on that side. She seems to have her left arm deep.
So by Danielle dragging that arm across, she might be able to take the back again or set up that armbar that you were mentioning, Steve.
Yeah. Has Danielle Hutton punched herself out there in that excitement with being in mount momentarily on the back, landing punches. It's still any girl's game right now.
What an exciting fight. Comeback by Hannah. She was almost out.
Sweep is coming.
Oh, a triangle.
So many incredible looks here from both ladies on the ground. Honestly, if they don't ever want to fight each other again, just show up together on a grappling match. You could definitely sell this as a submission only.
Yep.
This is great. Want to see a little bit more action here from Hannah Ingram on top. Danielle Hutton has been doing a lot to try to get the sweeps. Jimmy Wallhead's calling for the stand-up.
That's what I was saying at the start of this round, Steve. They are so equally matched on the ground. It's just whoever ends up on top kind of winning the round. But Danielle got the takedown. She only lost position because she went.
Ingram, this is where Hannah's really got to go for broke. She's got to try to posture up and land some punches because Danielle's had the better of her at the very beginning of this round. I think it's 1 round apiece going into this third round. I'm looking at my guys over here, the timekeepers.
Short time left in this fight. This is going to be so hard. I'm glad I'm not a judge for this one.
Saying only 20 seconds or so left.
I feel like my breakdown would be that Danielle's done enough because she got the takedown, she got the back, she was landing heavy shots. Hannah only really escaped because Danielle was trying to finish her, and then she ended up kind of
a little bit of excitement
getting
here at the
on
end.
top.
Again, so glad I'm not a judge. So glad I'm not a judge.
Now, Steve, during that fight, you called one of these lovely ladies a meat grinder. A meat grinder.
Yeah, definitely. I think that could be her nickname in the future. Danielle, the meat grinder Hutton, because she was really just tearing up that body like a meat grinder.
I don't think you should ever call a woman a meat grinder.
It's 2017, Chris. Hashtag feminism, all right? Very good work from Danielle Hutton. Excellent show of heart there from Hannah Ingram because she was never out of it and she finishes on top. It's going to go to the judges and they're going to have to make their decision, and a hard decision at that.
It's difficult. I think the first 2 rounds were one apiece. For me, Danielle did enough in the third to take the fight, but when we're commentating, we're not making notes. You know, we're not
cataloging every single strike, every single takedown, so we don't have anything reliable to go back on. We're going back on the emotion of the impression and the emotion of what we've just seen. Referee Alan Jackson doing a great job keeping everything under control here at Battle Arena Dunstable, because it's absolute pandemonium here in the crowd most of the time.
Yeah, we're not judges. We're just here to commentate, but if Danielle didn't win, it's a travesty.
We're not betting any more burgers, so you don't have to worry about that.
Oh no,
not yet.
Buy you a burger.
What was the game plan going into this? You know much about